What do you think when you see an ankle like this? A lot of us frequently sprain our ankles, we trip, we fall, and it gets swollen and it starts getting painful. But at what point do we start thinking it's broken? Would you know when to go see your doctor, or would you just go see him immediately? Well, I'm going to always recommend that you go, but knowing that most people don't have insurance and you don't, I'm going to give you 6 rules on how to know with higher probability whether you have a broken ankle or a sprained ankle. But with this one, I'll give you a little tip. Go to your doctor. That's a bad looking ankle. But what if it looks like this? There's a little bit of bruising, it's a little bit thicker. Well, to figure that out, let me first explain what an ankle sprain is. 90% of ankle sprains are called inversion ankle sprains. That's when your foot tilts in like this, and it puts stress on ligaments on the outside of your ankle. They can tear, they can stretch, and that could leave you out between a couple days to even months depending on how severe it is. But then this ankle starts getting a little bit worse. And when you look at it, it could be either a small fracture or a large fracture. Now, it doesn't just jump from one to the other. You could have a small sprain, a large sprain, a very small fracture that's not as bad as the large sprain, or then a huge fracture where your foot just looks ridiculous like this. And on x-ray, it'll show up. So, in Canada, they devised the Ottawa ankle rules, and it's a series of 6 rules that increase the odds of a broken bone and the criteria to get an x-ray. So let's get to them. The first 3 are to check your ankle. Step number 1 is to check your tibia for pain within 6 centimeters of your ankle. So you have 2 large bumps on your ankle, one on the inside, one on the outside. The one on the inside is your tibia, this big bone, that's the main weight-bearing bone. Check with your thumb if you have pain within this area right here. If you don't, that's a good sign that it's not broken. Then step 2, this little smaller bone here called the fibula on the outside of your ankle, check that with your thumb as well. Not underneath the bone, but just the bone itself. If that's not in pain, then you're less likely for a fracture. But if right in this area where my cursor is, the soft tissue hurts, that's more likely for a sprain because that's where the ligaments for an ankle sprain are. And then step 3, if you can't weight bear, that means that it's more likely that it's a fracture. But if you can put weight on it without twisting in and out, that's more likely that it's a sprain. So not just do you check your ankle, you should check your foot too, because foot bones can frequently become injured and cause swelling in the ankle. So 3 more are your 5th metatarsal. This is the outside of your foot, right here. You have a tendon that comes around the outside of your ankle and anchors into the base there, and it helps you twist your foot out. In an ankle sprain, you could rupture that. Touch it with your thumb and see if that hurts. If that's hurting and the bone's really sore, you may have what's known as a Jones fracture. And you should go see a doctor for that because that's a serious injury. And then step number 5, check on top of your foot for the navicular. Just touch the bones on top of your foot. Not really the soft tissue on the outside right here, but on top of the bone. You should be able to feel the bone. But I'm going to say this one's really rare. So that's the 6 stages. The 6th one's just to check weight bearing again. But if it sounds like you may have an ankle sprain, there's 3 types of ankle sprains. Stretch, that's going to keep you of the ligaments, and that's sore on the outside of the ankle. It's going to keep you out for 3 days to 2 weeks. If it's partially torn, same thing. It's going to be sore right there, and that's going to be about 2 to 4 weeks. If it's a complete tear, that could be even worse than a smaller fracture. You'll probably need surgical repair of the ligaments to prevent chronic instability, and you should go see a doctor. So either way, even if it's a very severe sprain, you should go see him, because your ankle can get this bad. You can have cartilage defects. This is an MRI of a cartilage defect, and the person damaged the cartilage on their ankle with just a sprain. Or it could even be a small break that you didn't pick up on. So go see your podiatrist, get an x-ray. That's the only way to know 100% sure. But I know a lot of do not try any of this at home alone without supervision. This is presented by Michigan Foot Doctors. If you think our information helped you, give us a thumbs up and come visit the site for even more.